And all the videos that you watch, all the YouTube videos on how to build an agency, how to make money as an agency, SMMA, whatever it might be, the process is extremely simple, but you're being convoluted and pulled in a million different directions because ultimately it comes down to this process: niche, service, CQI, trial close, retainer close, upsell. That's the only process that you need to build a multi-million-dollar agency. In the last two videos, I taught you how to pick a niche. I told you what service to use and what offer to create. It's all about keeping things simple. But in this video, I'm going to take you from a business child to a full-grown business adult. And I urge you to watch this video all the way through and maybe even multiple times, because what you're about to see is a very simple yet secret process that not only myself use daily, but all of my coaching students use as well. So I'm going to unveil this process and I'm going to share with you every single thing you know to go from business child newbie to a full-grown adult, to be honest with you. And so let me share with you really quick the overview of what we're going to be discussing in this video. Now, it's such good information that I was actually going to come in a suit and tie and do this video without a hat, believe it or not. And if you've been watching me for a while, that happens very, very rarely. But this video is going to be so impactful to you that I truly hope that you're going to take this information and utilize it. So let me just jump on my screen really quick and let's get into it. So what you're looking at on my screen is the simple secret process. And yes, I'm covering most of it up because why not? I don't want you guys to read ahead. But this is the process that we utilize in our own agency. If you take a look at the left side, this simple process includes the prospecting aspect of it. And again, we're going to be talking about all this stuff in this video, but we're going to be teaching you different ways to prospect. And when you go and start to prospect, you start to realize that what usually holds people back is their inability to know what to do next. Meaning, if I could just follow the same process over and over again, I would do it. But I don't do it because I don't really know what to do. And so, because the last few videos we talked about niching, picking a niche and the best service for that niche, you are at a point in this challenge or this training, depending on when you're watching this, where you now need to know, like, all right, I picked my niche, I picked my service, but now what do I do, right? And so this is what we're going to be talking about. So you're going to be learning about prospecting two different ways. Now, we do teach like almost a dozen different ways to prospect, but in this challenge or this training, we're going to be only talking about two, because this is about putting money in your pocket as fast and easily as possible. And once you start to prospect the correct way for people that are new, I mean, heck, even people who've been doing this a while have never tapped into these ways, then there's certain things that have to happen after. One of the things that you need to do is you need to understand the process of the CQI. This is a client qualification interview. Now, always remember this, and I'm going to talk deeply about this in just a few minutes, but always remember that when you're talking to a business owner, you're interviewing them. They're not interviewing you. And when you see the script and you see the process and you understand it, it's going to click in your head where you're going to be like, wow, I don't even need to be nervous here. And these are the reasons why. And so when you start to do these CQIs, as we call them for short, you're going to come to the next step of the process, which would be closing the trial. There is a process to this. You don't just like say, hey, I could do this, this, and this. What do you say, right? There's a process to this. There's steps, there's scripts. We're going to be sharing that in this video. Now, what happens when you do close a trial? And remember, a trial is the offer, most of the time free, depending how long you've been doing this, but we always say do it for free. What happens after you close a trial? Well, you need to know what questions to ask and how to onboard them very quickly to become a trial client. Even if you're not making money from them in that moment, there still needs to be an onboarding process for that. And I'm just going to slide myself over completely so we can go straight through this. Is how do you convert a trial into a retainer? Well, there's a process for that. There's a script for that. Okay, we're going to go through all that in this video. And then once you go from retainer, how do you onboard a real client where you're starting to make real money? As you can see, trial, you're really not making money. Some people do charge for trials. Again, in the beginning, I advise not to, but as people go through their journey, they start to get a heck of a lot more confident. And they're like, you know what? I'm not doing free trials anymore. I already have enough success. I already have enough proof case studies that people are just going to want to work with me. That's the evolution here. And that's why I'm starting you off in the beginning. And so once you close that retainer, you need to now have that retainer onboarding or that client onboarding. And then where the real money comes in is the upselling, which we've talked about. The Baby Yoda strategy, we talked about upselling, and we talked about offering more services, increasing that client value, which is where the real money is being made as an agency. Now, there's specific ways to do this. And if you actually just go through this simple secret process where you prospect, you do CQIs, you close a portion of those CQIs into a trial, convert a portion of those from trial to retainer, and then convert a portion of retainers into upsells, that's all this business is. So all the YouTube videos you've watched for who knows how long and you've gotten nowhere, it's because you're listening to more complicated ways to build this business when this business is very simple. You have a niche, or you're working in a couple of them, depending. Niche, service, prospect, CQI, trial, close a trial, convert to retainer, go from retainer to upsell. That's it. Like, that is the process that you could build a multi-million-dollar agency. And then where, we're not going to talk about this in this challenge, but to give you kind of like a little tidbit of where do you go from there? Well, you go from outsourcing these things, hiring somebody to do your prospecting, hiring a salesperson to close your trials, hiring maybe that same person closing retainers, and then onboarding, and then outsourcing your fulfillment. And you're running a lifestyle multi-million-dollar business. Is it hard? 100%. Does it take a lot of work? 1,000%. Can you do it? 1,000,000%. Do you even want to do it? Maybe not. A lot of people just want to make an extra $1,000 to $2,000 a month. And you know what? That is perfectly fine, because in 2014, my one goal was to make $1,000 extra a month. It would change my life. And here I am 10 years later, received awards and generating multiple $100,000 a month in this business. So you can do anything you put your mind to, but to actually get into the meat and potatoes, I say we start that right now. All right, now we're going to jump into prospecting. We're going to dive into the training that is really all you need to start making money in this business. But it boils down to your ability to tackle the things that happen in between your ears, because ultimately there's only one way to fail at this business, and that is to either quit or not do the steps that you need to do. And prospecting is the fuel, unfortunately. You can't drive without gas. Well, you can't run this business without prospecting. This is the number one thing. The person who makes the most offers, the person who prospects the most, will always prevail and always make more money than everybody else. That's the reality of it. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go through some slides, and I'm going to eventually come to a slide that says a walkthrough, and I'm going to walk through certain things here. Okay. But it's important to get the knowledge first and the understanding prior to the walkthrough. And understanding there's only two types of prospecting that you could do. It's warm and it's cold. That's it. You're either going to have discussions with warm market people or discussions with cold market people. That goes with every market. A referral is a warm market. Running traffic is a cold market, or cold emailing or cold DMing. You guys should understand that by now. So those are the two types. And so with warm prospecting, that's prospects that come to you or are referred to you by a mutual party, and they're going to have a higher close percentage, aka why I want you to go through your circle first. Cold prospecting, you're approaching them without them asking you to approach them. Typically a lower close rate, much lower close rate, but will go up in close percentages depending on the offer you're offering, and what better offer is it than to provide value first and to take all the risk off of somebody. Okay. And so which to you scenario makes more sense? finding a client in a world of traffic where you don't know basically anybody here. This is your cold market and you got a lot of people, but it's like knocking on a window to somebody you don't know. It's like, whoa, what are you doing here? Or somebody that like knows you and raising their hand and wants to give a shot because you maybe have a mutual friend. Obviously, you understand that this image here would be a lot easier to sell somebody rather than a whole bunch of cold traffic that doesn't know you and you haven't proved anything to the marketplace yet. Okay. And so increasing the prospecting success comes down to a few things. You want to prospecting to businesses with a clearly identified problem, because fixing a pain is more powerful than getting a pain. What do you mean, James? If a business knows, or maybe they don't know yet, but you can show them that there is a problem in their business, a pain point in their business, and you can show them, it's more powerful to fix that than it is to go to somebody and say, give me $1,000 a month, give me $500 a month, and I might be able to eventually get you a client. That is them spending money for nothing in return yet, and that is a pain. So it's much more powerful to fix a pain than it is to give them more of a pain by charging them money that they don't know they're going to get back. You want to prospect to businesses with a hard to refuse offer. You've heard it before, irresistible offer where somebody feels stupid to say no. Strong offers overpower most resistances and disadvantages. Meaning, if a client resists you, it's kind of hard to resist somebody that's telling them, hey, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z for free. Like there's no pain upon you saying yes to me. Now, there may be skepticism, but that's just people not understanding why you're willing to do what you're willing to do for free. And ultimately, the best way to tackle that is transparency. Like, hey, you don't know me. I don't know you. I see problems in your business. I can fix it. I want to prove to you my worth. It's not going to cost you anything. However, and we'll go through these scripts. However, if I do, would you be open to discussing a possible business partnership or a possible, monthly service that I can provide for you if I prove myself to you first? Makes sense. So you're not selling services, you're offering solutions. This isn't a high stakes sales process. This is you solving a business's major pain, and you don't need the deal. They do. And we're going to get into that in a second. It is very, very important because we share this all the time. We have the superpowers. The businesses do not. They need you more than you need them. Fastest path to success when it comes to prospecting is you want to start with a niche you have proven results for. Now, of course, we talked about this in the previous videos. So you could do this by, do you already have results that you could share people? Or does somebody else have results that you can leverage and share with people? So, for example, in our coaching program, we have, students who may post that say, hey, I have a restaurant, and this just happened the other day. I have a restaurant who's willing to give me a shot. Do anybody here want to partner up? And I can leverage your results that you've gotten with your restaurants. So that's the leverage. And that's also the beautiful thing about a community, but that is the leverage you can use. Somebody else has gotten those results. Also, asking same type of business if they want those same results. So you're not selling what you could do, you're selling what you've already done. And that makes prospecting a heck of a lot easier. Now, you may be sitting here saying, well, James, I have no community. I haven't gotten any results. I don't know anybody that's gotten any results. What do I do now? Well, here's the alternate. Start with an easy to get results for niche. So as you've noticed, I've recommended reputation management as a very easy service that you can provide. Gets fast results, easy to get on a trial, and it's good for like restaurants and contractors, or any niche that is very heavily relied on reviews. It's easy to get results for them, and there's tons of them. Okay, you should already know, and if you don't, let me explain it now. Niches that require reviews is most of them nowadays. Restaurants is a really easy one because they already have a client list. Contractors, anything under the contracting, medical, dentist, dental implants, things like that. Okay, that people go to Google, they search, and they want to read reviews. Just keep this logical and and use common sense when it comes to this kind of stuff. We're going to talk about prospecting method number 1. Now, this is not the type of prospecting. This is now a method. So in the beginning, I talked about 2 types of prospecting. Now we're going to be talking about 2 prospecting methods. And what we call is the arm's reach method. And so an arm's reach method is one of the top methods that our coaching students have used to get clients. It's a non-salesy way to announce what you're doing. It's an easy way to leverage your network for a warmer introduction. It's a referral-based method, and it's niche blind. So it could be tailored to any niche. You're not going to say, does anybody know any plumbers? And I'll show you I'll show you an example in just a second. Through this script, you're not going to say a specific niche. You're just going to say any business. We'll get to that in a minute. And post arm's reach on your personal Facebook profile. Especially if you're brand new and you're just kind of nervous about this, well, you can use this method just to kind of like get your feet wet, like start to move them in the quicksand, start to get some momentum, start to feel like you're doing something, start to tell the world. I've done TikToks about this. Like if you're truly starting this business, go and tell everybody. And the fastest, easiest way to do that is post it on your Facebook group, Facebook profile. Now, if you're embarrassed like I was back in 2014 when I first started this business, well, the cool thing is you can segment your friends list to show only specific people on a post. And you could do one of these posts every few weeks if you want. Matter of fact, I recommend it. And so instead of having to go and unfriend everybody you don't want knowing what you're doing, although I think you should be proud of what you're doing. In 2014, when I first started, I had a very big problem with this, okay? And so I segmented all the people that I just did not want to know what the heck I was doing, mostly family. This was in like the really real beginning. And I left everybody else and I did these arms reach method posts. And it's how I landed my first client back in the day. It is very powerful, but I do also understand in the beginning, some people may have a very big problem doing this. And so you can segment. You can probably just Google it and it'll show you how to do it. I'm not going to waste time in this training. It's simple. Just go to YouTube and Google, how to segment Facebook friends. All right. And so it goes something like this. This is what you would post. Hey, does anyone know any small businesses looking to bring in some extra revenue right now? I have something I'm working on for helping businesses generate new business and looking to test it out with someone in my network. If you have a friend or family member that runs a small business that you think might be a good fit, please tag them here or shoot me a message. Thanks. Simple and easy. And I can't tell you how many people post this and get people like raising their hand all the time. And you could also use a second way. Does anyone know you could just choose which one is right for you. Does anyone know a small business owner that would benefit from a few new customers right now? I found an interesting way to do that and want to test with someone in my network. If you have a friend or family member that runs, so it's like, and you can even grab this script, throw it into ChatGPT, basically tell ChatGPT what you're trying to do, and maybe it could even come up with a little bit of a better way, okay? Or better wording if you don't want to use it this way. And so the arm's reach intro would go something like this. I mean, very simple stuff. Hey, David, I posted about some interesting things I'm doing, helping small businesses, and Judy thought I should reach out to you. Are you taking on new customers at the moment? They say, yes, great. Love to chat and share what it is I'm doing if you have time today or tomorrow. Simple, very easy to do. You would be shocked how simple it is to drive up business doing this, okay? And so now once you kind of have this prospecting machine in your brain turning and you're actually starting to work toward doing the prospecting, now it's about closing the deal. Your ultimate goal is to get them to the CQI. We're going to go through all of this. We're going to get them to the CQI, simple trial close, following up within 5 to 7 days after for a retainer close. And again, all this process that I mentioned in the beginning is what we're going through. So keep watching. And by the way, before I forget, make sure that you like, subscribe, comment. Tell me what you like about this video. Tell me if it helped at all. And if you're still watching this, I might as well say it because I'm glad you're getting through it. I'm going to randomly pick a winner and give $200 for randomly for anybody who comments and anybody who likes the video. Okay, so $200. I'll be reaching out, or I'll post it on in the comment and pin it in the comment, and you can reach out to me directly to collect your money. Turn the notifications on so you're notified when the next video comes out. And that was my advertisement for this video. All right, so let's continue. And then be sure to thank the person that gave you the referral. Like minimum, shoot them a message. All right, so if somebody tags a friend of theirs, make sure, even it turns into nothing, make sure you reach out to them and say, hey, I appreciate you tagging John Smith. Again, if there's anybody else you know, don't hesitate to reach back out to me. That kind of thing. Always never close the loop, as they say, right? Always leave an open loop. And so here's prospecting method number 2, the double tap method. And the name basically comes from understanding that we're essentially tapping the business owner twice, essentially tapping them on the shoulder via email and tapping them on the shoulder via, let's say, Facebook Messenger, Instagram DMs, whatever it might be. And so that's all to remember what this method is. It's just that it's like tapping them on Messenger, tapping them via email. And we'll go through that in just a few minutes. But essentially, it's a hybrid prospecting method targeting businesses with clear issues. And this is a blend of cold and warm because it can be used for either one. And there's 2 methods of communication for the outreach. And businesses needing help are clearly identified. So remember, before I get further, you have your arm's reach method, which is warm market because it's people close to me, arm's reach. That's how you remember it. Double tap is something on the computer, double clicking the mouse, going back and forth and being able to identify problems with businesses before you reach out to that business and sharing those problems with it. And so we're targeting business with no reviews on Google, but Google My Business, but now it's Google Business Profile, GBP. I can't get used to it, so I always say Google My Business. No reviews on Google My Business, plus they don't have a non-claim GMB. I'm going to share what that looks like with you. And bad reviews on Google My Businesses, right? Again, this is what we're targeting. These are businesses that have clear issues. These are businesses that need your help. These are businesses that if enough reached out to, you have a higher probability to get interest because you're going to be sharing with them problems. And if they see that, they're most likely going to want to fix it. And they most likely don't know how. A big one is the non-claimed GMB. So this is what no reviews looks like. Okay, here we go. Berlin Plumbing has no reviews. And so I would take a screenshot of it and go contact them and say, hey, look, here's all of your competitors who have reviews and you got nothing, essentially. We're going to go through the scripts, but you get what I'm saying. So here's no reviews and it's a non-claimed GMB or Google Business Profile. When you go on here, right, it'll say owned this business. That means that this Berlin Plumbing they haven't even claimed it. And so manage this business to reply to reviews, update info, and more. So I can literally take this GMB from the actual owner. And here's another way to know if they don't have a claimed one. They wouldn't have, when you're looking at on Google, they wouldn't have a website here, okay? And it says over here, add your business to Google, all right? And then, of course, bad reviews. So if anybody has less than 4 stars, so this would be considered less than, this is 3.5 stars, that is a big problem. And the only way to increase this is to get them more 4 and 5 star reviews. This doesn't look good for a business. This you can help them with. So there's 2 communication methods, Facebook Messenger, email. Using both increases the chances of contact and response. Now, I can add Instagram to this. So we could just say Meta, right? You can message them on Facebook. You can message them on Instagram. Or you can send them a cold email. And the ultimate goal is to get them to a CQI we will go through in a simple trial close. We're only targeting businesses that clearly need our help. And so another method of this is the double tap video method. Okay. And so it's the same concept and strategy as a double tap method, but with a custom video. So instead of sending them a screenshot, you would almost send them a video sharing with them the issues. A Loom video is fine. Simply Loom video covering the issues. Now, I will go through in this video Go High Level's prospecting tool for a more visual PDF you can pull and send them and or open up and do a video about that. Okay, we're going to go through that. Adds a more visual aspect to the double tap method. It puts a face to the name, kind of like what you see on this screen over here. And so, obviously that all this increases the likelihood of getting somebody interested. You need to put a face to the name, so screen and camera recorded, but you're still targeting businesses with no reviews on their Google Business profile, no reviews and haven't claimed their Google Business profile, or bad reviews on the Google Business profile. And again, in this method, it's still you could send them a Loom video on Facebook Messenger, Instagram, DMs, emails, so on and so forth. Same scripts with a slightly modified message. And again, the ultimate goal is to still get them to the CQI and Simple Try Close. The video contains call to action to discuss issues with you. So let's walk through this. Okay, so let's start by the arm's reach method really quick. All right, so all I'm doing is going to my personal profile. I'm not going on a business profile. I'm not doing anything of that. I'm on my personal profile. You simply click here, paste the script. If you're good with the script, maybe you could put an image. You could put an image of, let's say, a local business, just so it's more visual for people. And so then if you click next, okay, I can let me do this. Let me change it from public to, let's say, friends. Or I could do friends accept. I know earlier I said just you can Google how to do this, but I figured whatever. And you can go through your friends list and say, hey, I don't want this one. I don't want this one. I don't want my boss. I don't want my girlfriend. I don't want her parents, this person's parents. I don't want that. And you get rid of people who will not see that post. Very, very, very simple. Okay. And then you would post that. Now, I did mention that you could throw it into Chat GPT, and I wrote to Chat GPT, I want to post on Facebook asking friends if they know anyone who owns a business. I have a script and would like you to rewrite it. Sounds to make it sound a little more professional. And so then I copied the script and revise it. I'm reaching to this. I'm reaching out to inquire if anyone in my network is acquainted with. To me, it's a little too professional. So then I said, hey, can you make it slightly less professional? And it said, of course. I'm looking for a small business owner who might be interested in a cool new way to get some extra customers. I've got an idea I'm really excited to try out, and I'd love to partner with a small business owner community. If you know someone, maybe a friend or family member who runs their own business and might be up for it, could you tag them here? I'd really appreciate your help in finding the right person to work with. I mean, that's really good too, right? So you don't have to use the exact script. You could use ChatGPT, or you could use the exact script, or you can screenshot this and rewrite it out. Whatever it is that you do, that's the simple process for arm's reach. And now let's jump into the walkthrough of the double tap method. All right, so if I would do an example of, let's say, plumber in the city, state, or you could say near me, whatever it might be, I'm going to use this as an example. I pulled it up prior to shooting this just now, just to save time. But what I would do is I would screenshot. Okay, so for example, this one has 4 stars. This one has 3. So the example is going to be, I'm going to be contacting Rivers Plumbing. So I'm going to screenshot this. They have a claimed profile, so it's okay. Right now I'm working on low reviews. And if I go to Facebook, here's Rivers Plumbing. I matched up the area code with here, 973-841-0181. So I matched the number. So this is the same person. And I would just message them. And I would take the script that we have. Let me make it a little smaller. And I'm looking for the one that has bad reviews. So I would just copy this. Hello, not sure who to show this to, but I saw you on Google. Not sure if you noticed how your reviews are stacking up compared to other plumbers in the area. Here's what people are seeing. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go over to the Facebook. I'm going to copy this. Now, if you take a look at the screenshot, it says now insert screenshot. And by the way, this is, hold on, Facebook Messenger messages. So all we're doing is finding the heading of what we're doing, because you have business has bad reviews, you have business has no GMB reviews, so on and so forth. So I copy that, and then I'm going to insert the image. Now let me find one that's the plumbing one. Go back to the script. When somebody replies, then you're going to just copy this and then copy that. Okay? So that is that. And so it's pretty simple. You just have to use this script, and then I'll also send them an email. Double tap. bad reviews. And then I will just copy, is this negative review about business name true? Did you see this bad review of your business? Hello, not sure who to show this to. And then you would insert the image and then copy the rest, put your name. That's the double tap. Messenger or Instagram, and then you would do email. That's the whole method. Now, yes, there is video. And so the video would just kind of basically be a Loom video of me on here and say, hey, I'm not sure who to show this to, but this is how you're showing up on Google. We could definitely help you. You have 15 reviews, but you're a 3-star. It does not look good, but we definitely can help you. And if you take a look around you, Arctic has 53. You could scroll up and find like more. 52, 346. The more reviews, the better. And you would kind of go through that same script. Let me know if you're interested. And then you can go over to this script over here. See, it says double tap video prospecting script. And you can go and take a look at here. It says business has no reviews, bad reviews. Business has bad reviews. Hello, not sure who to show this. You would copy it, paste it, insert the Loom video. And in the video, you're like, you're not on page 1. Reviews stack up. How bad the reviews are. That is an easy fix. Call to action below. And here's a call to action set in the video. This is probably costing you customers because just like you and me, people typically search usually one weekend. Again, you guys have all access to this, to all these scripts. And if they don't answer you, you can follow up messages. And so the scripts will explain it all. I don't want to spend too much time here, but you get the point. You search for somebody that has bad reviews or no profile or no claimed GMB. You use the scripts to send them messages and screenshots. You could do the Loom video. And let me get into the Go High Level prospecting tool right now. So now I want to kind of take the researching aspect of this and wrap a nice little bow around it and share with you a much easier way to do this. And that's using Go High Level. And if you don't have Go High Level, I highly suggest you grab my 30-day free trial. Depending on when you're watching this, they do have a holiday or New Year deal. And I have a ton of bonuses. You can just go down into the description, click one of the links that I have, and it'll share everything that you get with Go High Level. But again, all-in-one tool now with prospecting. It's great. And again, don't quote me on this because I actually don't know exactly what account you need to have this prospecting tool, but I believe at the 297 level, maybe at the 97, not 100% sure. But if you click prospecting and you add a prospect, so you would click add prospect, and it's going to search kind of in the area that you are. So if I type in plumbers, instead of saying near me, I would just say in this, Clifton, New Jersey, and then choose it. And as you can see down here, so I had to move my face up, it'll actually tell you the Google Business Profile, whether it's claimed or not, if they're using WordPress, and what the conversion rate would be based on how good their Google Business Profile is. And so if it's like, highly ranked, has a lot of reviews, it's claimed, there's going to be an unlikely chance. So you could see here, unlikely, moderate, down here, more than likely. And if I click next, I have a ton of choices here. I just want to look for ones, let's say, that have bad reviews or low rating. And, it's taking a little bit longer because I'm running a lot of stuff on my computer, but typically this goes fast. And so if I wanted to, I would say, let's try to find one that's bad. Like here's one. This is 4.2 with only 10 ratings. I would like to see it under. They're not using WordPress. Again, I don't know where that ranking comes using WordPress, but maybe it's something with the ranking factors. And then this will tell me if the Google Business Profile is claimed. So far, they're all been claimed. I want to emphasize something with the Google Business Profile, whether it's claimed or not. It's only really used as a reach out tool, meaning like scaring people. Businesses, not in a bad way, but in a way of like, hey, listen, you have a business, you're running a business, you want more leads, customers, but where people find you haven't even claimed that profile. Maybe you should go and do that. Some people teach that you go and claim it yourself. I'm not going into that. I'm just going to look for people that I can try to send review requests for, or try to get them on a rep management service. The best way to do that is to find people who have low ratings. So if I'm not going to wait for this to load. So let me go back to, I pulled a couple of these for demonstration purposes. Matter of fact, this one, my best friend had me pull so he could send it. But if you look at like Schlockner, it's plumber, and I show the report, you could share the report. So this link, I can copy this link, and I can send that for that double. Instead of like a screenshot, I could just send them, hey, I pulled a marketing audit report, or I could pull the report up, and this would be my Loom video. And you can have them, automatically know your agency name, what email they could email. And here's the health score. They have no listings, barely any listings. They have no chat widget. They're not using a WordPress site. They have no text-enabled business number. They're not claimed their Google business profile. They don't reply. They don't reply to anything. And they're not. That's why they're not showing up anywhere in the local area. These are the biggest competitors. This is what they look like. 72% of the listings are inaccurate. So one of the biggest ranking factors is your business, the business name, the business phone, they all match. Okay. So as you can see, a ton of these things aren't matching, barely any reviews. The reputation is 3.4. I mean, 1 star, 1 star. These are all the mismatches, all of these mismatches. So this would be a perfect way to do it. And you would show them this. And so if you go in here, you can export into a PDF, and I can email this report over to them. They could click the link, or I could just say, hey, you could even here's your online health. You could screenshot this and send that. 79% of your customers do online research for making decisions, missing or partial. This is all pre-done for them. For any business that you want to pull, you can search for any business that you want. This is a great prospecting tool. But again, it's a numbers game. However, this would be considered part of the double tap method. You could use Loom, you could use screenshots, or now you can use the Go High Level prospecting tool with PDFs or email or links that they can go and look at that. This is a doctor here, bad online health, hasn't claimed the Google business profile, and a lot of mismatches. No match. So these are all a service base that you can do. And so that would be the Go High Level prospecting tool that you could utilize. Now that you have all this framework, well, now how do you start to sell people? Let's get into that. All right. So now we're going to get into the sales conversation. And this is where the entire point of this is getting somebody to what we called the CQI, where we're going to be interviewing the business. So when you're doing your double tap method or you're asking for warm market referrals, the whole point of this is to get them into a conversation where you now are interviewing them to unveil more problems than they even knew they had. Most businesses have a ton of problems when it comes to their online visibility, most of them. And those are the ones that we're talking to. And so essentially, there are 3 parts to the sales process: client qualification interview, a simple trial close with the audit, and a retainer close. Right now, we're talking about getting them to a CQI. This is you're now using your double tap method, or you're using a warm market, right? Warm market could be a referral. It could be that Facebook post that you put. It could be just making phone calls to your warm market, asking people. And so the whole point of it is to get them to that CQI. By doing it this way, you're going to be leveraging an offer that leads with value that we talked about. It's going to take care of the trust issues, and it makes it easy to close a money deal after you get results. Again, free trial into getting results. Visually close easily highlights issues. Again, Go High Level prospecting tool already has the report, screenshots, whatever it is whatever process you're going to use. You can use them all. You can use Go High Levels. You can use the screenshots or a Loom video. And it helps create a zero friction sale. You need to set up this protocol when selling. You're going to make sure that the only thing that can be focused on is your meeting. Silence your phones, no distractions. And when screen sharing or showing on the laptop, close everything but your presentation. Now, what presentation? Well, your presentation is going to be essentially the audit that you did. And so be confident. You're both business owners. Even if you're brand new to this business, you are now a business owner. They need you. You don't need them. You've lived your entire life on the income you have right now. Do not look like you are biting at the bit to close the deal. They're either going to move forward or not. But every time you do one of these, you get better at it and better at it and better at it. You're the one with the superpower. You're the one that found the problems. You're the one that has the solution. They're the ones that have a business with problems. They're the ones with no solution. Whether they see that the solution is worth anything to them, that's not on you. That's on them. And I need you to be extremely careful with listening when they talk. You control the conversation with questions. Don't allow them to control the conversation. Don't talk over them. Be empathetic and be the problem solver. You never end a meeting without securing the next step in the process. Do you need another meeting? Get it scheduled. Do they need time to think? Set a deadline to have a conversation. Get it scheduled. Need to collect payment? Run it on the spot, right then and there. If, I know we're doing a free trial. This is the selling protocol for, you could do the free trial, so you wouldn't be collecting payments, but always be ready. Always have the ability to run a payment if need be. There are times where you could be talking to a potential client and they see the problems and then they'll say, hey, I've always wanted to run Facebook ads. Do you do that too? Sure do. Great. What would that cost? So just be prepared. You never know. And, what does that cost? Again, I have that niche pricing sheet for those services that'll be attached to this. But ultimately, in the end, just be prepared. The next step would be all no sales just means they aren't ready now. So ask them if it's okay if you could check in on them down the road. Whatever it might be, again, we talked about this. Never close the loop. Always leave them as an ally. Don't burn bridges or take offense to a no. And you'll be surprised at how many people you talk to eventually come back. And that's why I says not to ever close the loop or ever burn a bridge. You never know. Business owners may say no today to what you're offering them, and they go to sleep at night and they're like, ugh, it has been a little slow lately. Maybe it is because I have no reviews, or I don't have enough reviews, or I'm not running traffic, or I'm not doing this. And it just kind of gets their wheels turning. And all of a sudden you get a message a week later like, hey, can you jump back on again? Let's talk about this. It happens all the time. And so I want to go through the client qualification interview. You'll see a slide that pops up with the walkthrough, so we'll be doing that in just a few minutes, but let's talk about the actual client qualification interview. It's a simple interview process to set up the simple trial close. It helps you learn more about their business. It helps make you look like an expert even on day one by the questions that you're going to be asking. Again, we'll be going through this. It provides a more formal way to ask for information that we're going to need. You're interviewing them, not the other way around, and it helps filter out businesses that we actually probably don't want to work with anyway. It's going to identify red flags. You'll see that when I go through it. And this is going to set us up for closing the sale. It's scripted to lead right into the simple trial close. It highlights vulnerability and it gains commitment through the process. Do not show the CQI sheet to them. You print it out. You have it on your desk and you write down the answers. You do not fill it out while you're on a Loom video. You could do it over the phone, but typically we like to do Zoom videos. So you don't want to have the sheet up sharing your screen while you're going through it, okay? And so let's go through and walk through the CQI. Okay, so this is where we take the interview and flow into the simple trial close. This is the CQI. So we're just going to go through it. I filled out some information to save time. and example information. And so this is going to help you better understand the business you're going to work with. Instantly makes you sound like an expert authority and helps you determine if they are a good fit for you. The beautiful thing about this is once I go through this, and you're still going to have questions, you're going to have to rewatch it. And again, you can practice this, but you're going to see how everything we've learned so far is coming full circle. We talk about never closing the loop. Well, we're going to close the loop with you. Well, that's a good thing in knowledge. And I think that you're going to walk away from this and be like, everything feeds into that original process that we talked about all the way in the beginning, the simple secret process. Prospecting, CQI, trial close, trial onboard, retainer close, retainer onboard, upsell. All right, it's all going to come full. Things are just going to click. Okay, if you've been paying attention through this challenge or this training. This is not meant to be emailed or sent to the client. You're asking these questions either on the phone, in person, or through chat. I've done many of these in person at a coffee shop, usually Starbucks, but too many red answers. I've walked away, right? You need to walk away. Sometimes saying no is more important than getting a yes. Okay, you can say no. And so the interview starts like this. Hey, James, thanks for meeting me. I just want to ask a few quick questions about your business to make sure I have the complete picture. Does that sound okay? And the first question is just curious, what made you interested in talking to me today? This is self-admission. They're either going to give you some sort of answer, and the answer is going to be about fixing problems. Somebody referred me. I have no visibility online. I don't know what I'm doing online. I'm worried that referrals will dry up. Like, there's so many answers that is like they're closing themselves along the way. How long have you been in business? If they're brand new, it typically could be a red flag. But again, just because one or two red flags, if they have three or more through this process, you may want to walk away. What services does your business offer? Or, again, if you already know this, just so I know exactly what you do. I know you do HVAC. Do you typically do installs? Do you typically do fixes or tune-ups? Whatever it might be, you want to find that out. How much does your typical customer spend on their first purchase with you? We'll throw in $500, right? A tune-up for $500. How much does your average customer spend with you over time? Somebody typically spends the first time $500. Do they come back, or is this a one and done type thing? And they may say, again, I'm just giving this as examples. If they come back multiple times, how many times would you say? 2 to 3 times. I would say the average customer will call me back 2 to 3 times in a given year or 2 years or 3 years. Or maybe they have a lot of customers, just every year I do a tune-up, right? It's important information. If they have no idea about anything, just educate them. Say, hey, okay, so tell me the last job you did, how much did they spend with you? Well, that was an install, it was about 12 grand. All right, do you do any tune-ups? I do, that's most of my business, tune-ups. Great, what's the average tune-up? $500. How often does somebody bring you back? I would say on average 2 to 3 times. You see how it's just a conversation? Currently, how are customers currently finding you? Are you doing anything specific on Google? Most of my customers are referral, not much online. Do you know if you're getting any leads from your Google profile? I really don't know that. You have no way to know that. Do you actively collect reviews from your customers? If so, how are you getting them? Not really, but I typically do ask them every so often when I remember. Okay. Do you have a procedure in place to handle negative reviews? And if so, what do you do? I don't have a procedure. Be honest with you, I don't even know if I have bad reviews. Do you have a list? Name, email, phone number of current customers. If so, how many people would you estimate are on that list? They may say, I don't have a list. You find this a lot with restaurants. They have a CRM that they could pull it from. But with HVAC, he probably has an invoice pad that they keep that's going to have name, phone, maybe not an email, but name, phone number, address. You may have to do a little bit of work or a little bit of digging, but we want to just get them to tell us numbers. And where are these people? So again, a red flag would be they have no customer list. There's no way to get a customer list. That's a red flag. So this is needed for us to get a quick win for rep management. All right. So if they say, do you have a list of current customers? Yes, on paper. If so, how many people? 200. Cool. Do you have a list of people who were leads but never worked with you? Yeah, I would say I sent about 50 people estimates and they never got back to me. Where did you send them? I emailed it to them. Great. So you do have some people you do have email addresses for. I do. We'll go through the weeds, but let's just get through the CQI, right? When it comes to the weeds, that's on the onboarding section, which we'll get to. They're going to come now, again, self-admission. I guess I should ask, are you even able to take on any new customers? Someone may say, I am so busy right now, I don't think I can. Red flag. Cool. So you don't want your business to grow? Right? Try to get them to, like, if they're fully admitting that they don't want any new business, then you're going to come back and say, so then why are you sitting down with me? Why did you even agree to sit down with me if you don't want new? That's what I do. I help get you more leads and customers, but now you're telling me you don't. You throw it back into their face. Anyway, so in this example, yeah, I would take on more customers. Out of curiosity, what has kept you from setting up these types of systems yourself? What types of systems? Systems to get them more reviews, systems to ask for more reviews, systems to help stop bad reviews, systems to reply to bad reviews, systems to claim a Google Business Profile, system to or service to help them rank their Google Business Profile. Okay, these are all systems and services that we can provide. And so once you go through this, that ends the CQI and it flows into what we call the simple trial close. The simple trial close is a two-step process to officially close a deal. Simple audit to visually highlight issues, irresistible value and advanced offer pitch. The simple audit is going to highlight their online brand reputation, compares them to competitors, reinforces your expertise, and pokes the bear. The simple trial close is going to offer a simple offer pitch, value in advance to reduce sales friction, builds trust, sets up for easier money close, and the success hinges on you providing results during the trial. Don't offer the trial to anyone you can't get the quick win for. Trials should last no more than 7 days. So let's flow right into it. All right, so the CQI flows right into the trial close. All right, that's the beautiful thing about this. Everything's going to flow together. All right, so you've asked them the questions. Remember we said this is the interview? And so you're interviewing them flowing into a close. Okay, so I think I have a good grasp on what is currently going on in your business. So let's recap. If I understand correctly, your customers on average spend about $500 initially with you, but are ultimately worth $1,000 to $1,500, depending on how many times they call you back over time. And right now, customers are currently finding you mainly through referrals. And you aren't doing anything on Google because you don't know if you're getting anything from Google. You're not sure, or you're probably not getting any leads from your Google profile, and you are not actively getting reviews from your customers, even though you may ask, but most of them don't do it. And you don't have a procedure to handle any negative reviews. You're not answering them if you do get one, or you actually said you don't even know if you're getting bad reviews. And it sounds like you have about 200 people on your list, and you are able to take on new customers. So you haven't really gotten anything in place just yet, because you don't really know how. Does that sound about right? Now, you may say, well, where did you just get all that? Well, I got all the answers from my CQI. And so I'm using the answers from the CQI to pitch them. That's what you're doing. And I'm going to get into this brand reputation audit because in this challenge, we're only talking about rep management. And so you may have to change a few things because maybe you do know this, but maybe do you know how to rank Google Business Profiles? And you probably don't. In this challenge, I'm going to teach you rep management as one of the services. So some things you may need to change. If you're not going to talk about claiming their profile, if it's not claimed, if you're not going to talk about ranking their Google Business Profile, but the words aren't too important here because getting them more reviews and ongoing reviews is going to naturally rank their profile anyway. Okay. Also, and I'm trying to figure out where I can fit this kind of this brand or Google Business Profile rankings, because ultimately in the local area it's not too difficult to do it. I just don't know where to put this. So just understand that when I talk about a brand reputation or brand visibility service, it's combining rep management with ranking their profile. And so it's kind of one and the same, but there's still more work you need to do for ranking their profile, which would be name, address, phone number, making sure that's all the same. The cool thing is in Go High Level, there is a service that you could provide in my bonus video on the whatever 14th, whenever it is, it's listed on the Get Client Challenge website. Maybe I'll throw that in there. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I just gave that secret away. So now we're going to be showing them the work you did prior to the CQI. Okay, and that could be a Go High Level. That could be the report you pulled from Go High Level. It could be screenshots. You could pull it up on your laptop. You could show them on Zoom by sharing your screen. You're just showing them their results. All right, so great. Now I wanted to quickly show you where your business's online reputation currently sits. So here's our Google reputation audit. If they have GMB reviews, you're going to show them if they have reviews. If they don't, you don't need to show it. All you need to do is tell them they have no reviews. You're going to highlight the overall reputation score. What's their average star rating? You're going to highlight the reputation overview. You're going to highlight their listing strength, which is the most important in Google. Okay. You're going to show their Google business in rankings and where they are showing. So you're going to Google dentist near me or dentist around me, whatever it is, dentist in New Jersey, and show them where they are showing in the listings. Highlight, they're not on page 1. Highlight their reviews compared to the competitors, and highlight that their business profile is not claimed, if applicable, and if applicable. Okay? Does all this make sense? You're going to ask them. If they say no, okay, cool. What questions do you have? Let them fire questions at you. You'd be surprised, you're going to have the answers to most of them because you did the research. If they answer yes, that just gave you the permission to pitch. Okay, great. I think I can absolutely help you. And if it's okay with you, I'd like to share what I typically do. Does that sound fair? They're going to say yes, and you're going to pitch them what you do. I guess I could read this. Again, you have access to this. I specialize in helping local businesses get more leads and customers. I want to always go off on the script because I just know it, but let me read it. Okay, so I specialize in helping small businesses like yours get more brand visibility on Google by combining 2 crucial components. Now, if you're only offering rep management, you could say 1 crucial component. First, one of the primary places you and I go to search for businesses when we need something is Google. Pretty simple. You understand this. I understand this. Your customers understand this. So first, we make sure your brand on Google is accurate and set up to receive leads of potential customers needing and wanting your services. This is important because nearly half of all searches on Google are people looking for local businesses. Next, you know how you typically look online for reviews about products or services you are considering buying, and if there are bad reviews or barely any reviews, you usually pass. Well, so do your customers. So we focus on getting you more positive reviews online while helping reduce future negative reviews. Harvard did a study that showed just a 1-star increase in a business's overall rating can increase revenue by 5 to 10%. Also, the opposite is true. A 1-star decrease will have the opposite effect in the opposite direction. So we focus on getting a steady stream of recent relevant reviews from your customers, which also is a key factor Google uses to show your business more online, aka rankings. So these are the 2 pieces, these 2 important pieces for your businesses, which is why we address both. If you remember, you currently have no reviews, a 3.4 rating. So just bringing you up 1 star can mean a huge jump in annual revenue for your business. Does this all make sense? If they say yes, okay, great. Where would you like to go from here? And shut up. If they say no, okay, what doesn't make sense? Answer questions and then say, okay, cool. Where do you want to go from here? And then shut up. The whole point of this is to create air in between your last question, which should never bring up price. You're going to leave the air open for them to finally say at some point, well, to fix all this, how much is it going to cost me? Once they ask that, again, you're not bringing up the price. It's very difficult, so you can practice this. You're not bringing the price up. They're going to ask you, because when they ask you that, they just gave you permission to price them, okay? And here we go with the free trial. It just makes it so easy. Well, because I want to earn your trust and show you that this works, I want to help you get some positive reviews for your business over the next week for free. I don't know you too well. You don't know me too well. Well, let's get to know each other during this trial. It's free, no money out of pocket. And then you go into this. All I need to get started is a simple list or spreadsheet of your most recent customers, name, email, phone if you can, over the last 2 to 4 weeks. Maybe you don't have it on a spreadsheet. Maybe we could just, like I'm saying, if this is like invoice, just give me the last 10 invoices and I will put them in a CRM. That's usually a big enough list to get at least a couple of great reviews for you online. After the week, we'll sit down and look at the results and can decide if we want to proceed with the full brand visibility makeover on Google. You can call this whatever you want. Whatever. This is what we call it on Google, and proceed with getting more reviews. Does that sound fair? Here is the verified claim. You can say this, but most of the time, most of the people you talk to is going to have a claimed GMB. Common questions. Well, how do you get us the reviews? Well, I use a simple setup. It simply sends a message to your customers that asks if they would share their experience, blah, 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 blah. You can go through this. How long does it take to get set up? Typically 48 to 72 hours. Add whatever you feel comfortable, especially if you're brand new. Typically it takes about a week, and it's okay. And then, so if they go through this, your only job here is to collect information because you're not collecting money. Remember, it's free. We have an intake form. So you're going to confirm when the customer list will be delivered, and you're going to complete the rep management intake form. So let's go look at what that looks like. And so this is the simple trial close onboarding form. So this is going to cover everything you need for rep management and to claim their GMB. But again, in this challenge, we're not going to be talking about claiming it. Collect this information immediately after closing the deal, immediately after closing the free trial. If needed, copy and paste this checklist in an email to your client. Not this. How do you want your business name listed online? Again, you can use that for rep management or the Google Business Profile. This is for rep management. So you want to delete this, but you can still ask these questions even if you're not doing any claiming of their Google Business Profile, even if you're not going to pitch them ranking their Google Business Profile. Just get the information. That's all here. Okay. So you're going to ask these questions. You can email it to them. Typically, you're already on with them. So just ask these questions now. Okay. Write it down, but you could email it to them. And here's a checklist for you. All right. Here's for rep management. Collect the information for intake form. Get to know their Facebook page or get their Facebook page or Google Business Profile. Confirm their list. Phone numbers are optional, but help significantly. Set up their Go High Level account, sub account for the client. Use the info from the intake form. Set up the review funnel. Launch the quick win strategy. Challenge video number 4, we'll talk about the machine and setting up the entire machine. That's challenge video number 4. So you will learn this service. Notify the client when the service is live. Shoot the email or text when they get their first review. And that this shows that the service is working and that there's a touch point, right? The more times you touch the client, the easier it is for them to know, like, and trust you. Get the meeting in 3 to 5 days if you can, 5 to 7 max. Once you get them a few reviews. So you may say 5 to 7 days, but if they get 5 reviews in the first day or two, get them back on. Okay. And now we're going to be closing the client retainer. All right. So if we go over to here, right, we went to trial onboarding. That's what this was. And just to go through that really quick, you're just collecting information. It's done immediately after the deal is closed or after the CQI, which goes into the pitch and all that stuff we just went through. You don't want to chase down everyone. So just get it now. You already talked to them, so get the information. Use a trial onboarding form, which I just showed you right here. Also include a simple checklist, rep management, Google My Business Profile verification. Okay, so again, this one is not really talked about. We're concentrating on that. All right, and we just did a walkthrough of that. So now we're going to go into the retainer close. And so the retainer close is offered after completing the trial successfully, 5 to 7 days, ideally as early as 3. This is where now you're going to start making money. And in this case, you can brand what we call, you could pitch what we call the brand visibility system. There's a caveat here. Again, we're teaching you rep management at the one service. This is kind of including what I mentioned before. The brand visibility system is getting them more reviews and helping them rank. Okay, you could still call it this even if you're only doing rep management. You're essentially giving them more of what they're already getting during the trial. The rep management to continue getting reviews. And again, this would include the NAP listing optimization. All right. And now we're giving them flexible offer options. Okay. So like the brand visibility system would be $497 a month. You can downsell just into rep management. And if you're only offering rep management, go to $397. The GMB NAP listings, $397. You just want to get them started on a service. You could always get them started on another service later. But you got to sell them something. Split the payment in half. Whatever it is, try to sell them something. You've already done the free trial. You've gotten them results. This should be an easy. Now, everybody's not going to say yes. Let's just get that out of the way. Everybody's not going to say yes, even to this, okay? But never close a loop. They could come back in future dates. They already acknowledged they needed help. They already got through all that CQI. They already got them. You already got them through. Got them results through the trial. They can afford something. And so let's walk through the retainer close. So now we're post-trial close. This is now going for the money, the retainer. So we get them back on a call, and we're just going to say this stuff. Okay, so as you can see, we were able to get you 10 new reviews here on Google or on Facebook, whatever. Good stuff, right? Now, as you can see, your rating is still, or now at, it was four stars, now it's 4.5 stars. The next step is to keep increasing the number and value of reviews to keep pushing your rating higher, while also working to get you more visibility in Google, which will contribute to getting more customers. Are you interested in getting more customers and sales and continuing to grow your online positive reviews? If they say no, well, what makes you say no, right? Just, you got to answer some questions. Some of them will just say yes. All right, cool. So as I mentioned during our first conversation, we have our brand visibility system we use focusing on exactly two things. That includes our Google Visibility Service, where we focus on getting your Google profile shown to more people that are looking for your services. A key part of that is continuing to get reviews from your customers, which is where our Reputation Booster service comes in. We'll continue to seek new customer reviews like we've been doing to increase the amount of positive reviews about your business while helping prevent or at least reduce the amount of negative reviews that make it online. Does that make sense? If they say no, all right, no problem. What specifically didn't make sense? If they say yes, great. The total investment for our brand visibility system is, let's say, $497 a month, which only getting one customer per month covers the entire investment. Now, you're saying that with proof that they told you their lifetime customer value is $1,000 or $1,500. So you could actually say one new customer coming from ranking your Google Business Profile higher and getting you more reviews would be 100% ROI on your investment. That's why this is important. Once you say this, you're going to shut up and you're not going to say anything. You're just going to be quiet, because ultimately they're either going to have to say something, yes or no, or they may say hello. And that's when you come and say, yeah, just waiting for you. Like they may get confused and be like, okay, well, this seems okay, right? And so you force them to be uncomfortable to say something. Okay, even if you're uncomfortable, believe it, it's an uncomfortable situation, but they will feel more uncomfortable than you because you know what you're doing. And so you're gonna, if they have any questions, you're gonna answer them and then shut up, answer it and then shut up, answer it and then shut up. They'll have no choice but to make a decision. It's either gonna be no. You can say, well, why no? Not right now, whatever it might be. Included with this will be some answers to some of the rebuttals that people will do. So you can go through those, or people will say. And so you can go through those to have an answer for what they may ask. But if they say yes, well, you're going to run the investment. You can do a downsell and just offer rep management, which might be the only thing you're offering anyway. You can split the payment in two. If they say no, why? The investment's too much. Investment's too much. If you get one new client, it pays for itself. Like, that's how you handle those things. And then if you're offering the two services, what we do here typically is the package is cheaper than getting it separately, right? So if they say they don't want to get the package, right, and we make this $297, well, they may say, well, just for another $200 a month, I might as well do both, right? So that's what the package comes in. And that is the retainer close pitch, collect payment. And so if you take a look here, the reason why I have no more slides is that you're done with the process. They've gone from a prospect to a CQI, to a trial, to the trial onboarding, to a retainer. And the only other step would be a retainer onboarding. However, you've already done all the onboarding that you would need for the rep management. And so the only caveat would be that there would be a process to onboard for the brand visibility system or the NAP listings in the ranking of the GMB. I'll give you access to that in the school community classroom under this video, but no need for me to go through it because we're talking only about rep management. And so we've come full circle. And so you can watch this video over and over again to get a better understanding. I don't expect you to get this immediately, but the action steps should be prospecting. That is going to be the action steps you're taking. That's going to be the questions we ask you on the form that you can fill out to win our prizes in the challenge. And we're going to be asking you specific questions about the training that will be worth points. And make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment. We'll be picking winners on every video of people who like and comment randomly, and then be announcing the winners of the challenge at the end. And make sure that you join our school community where the challenge is being held. In the classroom, there's these videos as well. And the forum is on getclientchallenge.com. And I hope this video was helpful. I hope that you got a lot out of it. I'm excited for the next video, which is setting up the machine. This is going to be setting up the service that you can provide quickly to people that you're prospecting. And so here we are, a few days into this challenge, and now we're getting into the heat of it. And so I still urge you to give this your all, change your life, and don't worry too much about, did you land a client? Are you doing the actions necessary to eventually land a client? One thing I want to point out, if you're in the school community, please participate in it. Let us know. Are you reaching out to people? Are you prospecting? Did you land a client? Did you close a retainer? Did you close a trial? It just helps us keep everybody motivated, and I'm excited for the next one. On the next video, we set the machine up and we press play on it. See you on the next one. Talk soon and good luck.